Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron is speaking. Today's video is going to be a little different. So for today's video, I've decided to kind of go back in my archives of channeled messages before I was doing YouTube and pull some things up. So the message that I'm going to go over today, it's from one of my main guides who is an extraterrestrial. I call her Mags. She was my mother during my very first incarnation. She's from the Blueprinter planet. I've spoken about her before on other videos, so if you've seen those, you're kind of familiar with her already. But I wanted to bring up some stuff that she's already told me just to give you a feel for our interaction. And she also talks about both describes the Blueprinter planet extremely briefly, and also talks about her favorite planet, Ceres, and she describes that one in more detail. So I thought you guys might find that interesting. So, so the first time, well, let me take a step back. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information that I first started channeling in regards to her. So the very first time I actually channeled something that was proper, legit channeling was the world's shortest poem. It was 2 lines long. This was back in March of last year. And just randomly, I'm like laying in bed and I get this message and it says, "To the left we are, next to the Ceres star." And I was like, what? And the only reason I knew Ceres is I could see the words spelled out in my mind, and I knew nothing about it. I had to Google it. This is how I validate everything that I channel. There's a lot of times I have no idea what I'm getting, and so that really validates it for me, because how can you make up something you don't even know about, you know? So someone was channeling to me, someone ET was channeling to me, and they were telling me where they were located. So I was like, okay. So later, I find out that that was from Mags. And I was talking to her, and she was telling me, yes, the Blueprinter planet is next to the Ceres planet. And she says, "Do you want to know why I gave you the location? So you and the world can find us. Right now, everyone everywhere is invited whenever you like." I was like laughing because I'm like, I'm not sure how we're going to get there. So I asked her, "Is this a visit from our consciousness instead of our bodies?" She says, "Yes." And then I asked her, "Any tips on how to get there?" And she said, "Meditate with intention." So there's that. So the first lengthy channeling is what I'm going to read to you now, also from her. So she was my stepping stone to get me to be able to have a high enough frequency that I could channel Metatron. I could not speak 2 words to Metatron when I first started because my vibration just wasn't able to get to, because they basically have to lower their vibration to get to you, and you have to raise your vibration to get to them, and there was no amount of me raising that could get me where I needed to be until I had been doing it for a while. So this is Mags describing being born. When I was born, this is on the Blueprinter planet, there were energies surrounding me. Okay, I should take a step back. The Blueprinter planet is in 7D. In 7D, there are no bodies. So 7D and higher, there's nothing to incarnate into. You are just energy. If you are 5D and lower, there's a body that you'll go into. And if you're 6D, bodies are optional. Is that a trip? So you can be energy, do what you need to do, and then if you're like, hey, I really need to eat something to keep that body alive, or I want to procreate, I need a body to procreate, or something else that requires a body, you can get into a body and then put it back when you're done. I don't understand it entirely, but that's what I know about it so far. So she's talking about being in 7D, how there were energies surrounding her. I should also mention that the Blueprinter planet is also in 6D, because I've seen a lot of, well, not a lot of it, but I've seen many, many visions of it, and those are all with bodies. There's people have bodies. So she's talking about 7D Blueprinter planet. When I was born, there were energies surrounding me. They were loving, kind. They wanted me to feel safe. I knew they would always take care of me. They still take care of me. When I was little, I wanted to be just like them. I knew I could listen and help others someday. I also knew that I wanted to leave my planet and go see the cosmos. My favorite planet is Ceres. This planet has 4 moons that show up every night. It has a tall structure in the center of town that helps us see what is coming from other planets. The people there are loving, blue, 5D, 5-dimensional. They have long fingers and toes. They like to eat things with sauce on them. They sometimes like to go out and try new things, like going to the store for food. So this is where I stopped her, because this is early on in my journey, and I was like, wait, what do you mean? Why is it a new thing to go to the store for food? Wouldn't they need to go to the store for food all the time? And that's when she told me, no, they don't need a lot of energy to run the bodies. So the more advanced we get, the less we need to rely on 3D things. So she said they don't need a lot of energy to run the bodies. My favorite thing about the planet is that each and every night the people would gather to sing songs and worship the moons. There would be flowers in wreaths that we would dance with. And I used to love going and taking a chocolate. And then I cut her off again. I was like, whoa, what? You have chocolate? What? And so she gives me this download of information, and I was like, oh, so every plant on Earth is a transplant from another planet. So I don't know where the cocoa plant came from. Theoretically, it could have come from Ceres, but just imagine all these planets in our universe, and we're just like, we'll take, 100 of these plants from over here, 100 from over there. And I'm sure they did this with the animals as well. Think of what diversity we have on this planet. It's a trip to think that we could find a lot of these creatures somewhere else as we are eventually able to travel out to space. Okay, so I asked her about the chocolate, and she said, yes, we have chocolate. She gave me the download. And so she was saying, I used to love going and taking a chocolate and keeping it under my pillow for later. Just like a little kid. And so she's blowing my mind. I'm like, you have pillows? She's like, yes. And I'm like, the chocolate didn't melt? And she's like, no. So that was the end of the message, but it just shows you, it kind of blows your mind that, you think that, I don't know, you think that all these advanced civilizations living in their 5D or whatever 6D, that they're gonna be, I don't know. What do you think they're gonna, like, it's gonna be like George Jetson or something? I don't know. It blows my mind that it's all these beautiful, simple things. We sang songs, we appreciated the moons, we enjoyed the food. It's so relatable, right? Because this is what we do on Earth. It's the same thing, whether we incarnate here, incarnate somewhere else, we're looking for those same experiences, and it's the same types of memories that stick with us. So I just thought that was really cool and wanted to share with you guys. I have lots more videos coming. So if you are in the mood for videos, they're going to keep coming out. So until next time, I'll talk to you all later.